Last week, Andrew talked to us about the importance of covenant and the interconnectedness of people and also believers in Christian community and covenant. We also tracked the history of God's covenant to his people throughout history, and we ended with God's covenant through Jesus. Now, this covenant came with a gift and a promise of the Holy Spirit. And if it's true that that Holy Spirit is living in me and living in you and in those in your community group, then we just have one more reason to celebrate God's goodness to us as we grow in life together. I want to pause to tell you a quick story. It was a Saturday morning and we were just finishing up breakfast. I was in San Jose, Costa Rica, going to language school through Worldwide Witness, and I was living with a local pastor and his family. And as we finished breakfast, I heard this cry from the street, and it sounded something like this. Huevos, huevos, directo de la granja, compre los huevos. Which just means, I've got eggs. There's fresh eggs straight from the farm. Come and buy some. And this experience was intriguing to me, so we ran to the gate, and as we got there, I asked the family what was going on, and they explained to me that there was a farmer who would come down every Saturday, and he would come to sell not only eggs, but also fresh fruits and vegetables, and share them with the community. Well, I began to look around and see the neighbors buying from this man, and I noticed that they spent longer than you would expect for a transaction. Now, I'll get back to that in a second, and this experience may not be something you're familiar with, so I want to talk also about something that we have similar here, which is farmers markets. And especially if you've been to the Abilene Farmers Market, you may have noticed that these people are passionate about their fruits and vegetables and fresh bread, and my favorite is the guy who sells honey. He harvests honey and he's willing to tell you all about it and how to incorporate it in your meals and the whole process behind it. And what I'm getting at, the point that I have, is that these farmers and honey harvesters were really willing to dedicate a lot of time, care, and attention to share the good fruits that they had grown with their community. In a way, and especially from the people in Costa Rica, they were developing a covenantal site that taught them that community comes through a depth of commitment and covenant to one another, when oftentimes criticism and conflict comes from convenience. So as we sacrifice relationships for quote-unquote convenience, we often find ourselves in places of just criticism and conflict, not places of a depth of community. And our hope for your group is that you can grow in covenantal sight together this week. And so this is our invitation. Take some time this week to grab a meal in the Bean with your community group. In fact, we're willing to pay for those of you who don't have a meal plan. We want you to share in the spiritual gifts that God is growing in each one of you. Our hope is that as you take time, care, and attention, like the honey harvesters and like the farmers, to cultivate those fruits in your life, they will stand not only to grow in your sanctification as a believer, but serve to encourage your community group. These spiritual gifts could be things like patience, or discipline, or joy, or sympathy, and they all serve to encourage and build our communities. My hope for your group is that you would grow in commitment through Christian covenant, that you would share and enjoy in the fruits that God has gifted to all of us as we grow closer in life together.